You know the spot, a logging road above Kettle Creek, in the Sproul State Forest, where the gravel gives out and the laurel closes in. You saw something cross the road, or only heard it. You told somebody, and they said it can't be here anymore. But the record often sides with you, not the person who corrected you. 11 animals. Pennsylvania locals give a wide berth, with dates, counties, and the state's own paperwork. Number 4 is the one they swear is gone. Number 1 puts more of you in the hospital than the bear and the cats combined. Let's start at 11. Number 11, the elk. Start with the largest, because size is its own kind of danger. Pennsylvania's elk herd runs between 1,300 and 1,400 animals now, spread across about 10 counties in the north-central part of the state, with Benezet in Elk County at the heart of it. A bull in September stands taller than the people photographing him, and weighs better than 700 pounds. The rut runs from mid-September into early October, and peaks in the last 10 days of the month. During the rut, a bull is not afraid of your truck, and not afraid of you. People along Route 555 stay in the vehicle with the engine running. An elk gives you fair warning. The next one gives none. Number 10. The fisher. Spend a night in the northern tier, hear something scream in the dark, and somebody will tell you it was a bird, or your imagination. It was neither. The fisher is a member of the weasel family, low and dark, and built like a length of muscle. It was gone from Pennsylvania for the better part of a century. Then, between 1994 and 1998, the Game Commission, Penn State, and the State Conservation Department released 190 of them, brought down from New Hampshire. 30 years on, they have spread across most of the state. A fisher can throw a scream that carries through the trees and sounds, honestly, like a woman in trouble. It will not come after you. It wants your henhouse, not you. But you will not walk toward that sound twice. Number 9. Feral swine. Wild hogs sound like a southern problem. They are here too, in small numbers, and the state has spent years keeping it that way. But they are here. Feral swine have turned up across Pennsylvania over the past decade, but the real breeding groups are small and hold on mainly in Bedford and Fulton counties. The Game Commission has jurisdiction and works with the United States Department of Agriculture to trap and remove them. Bedford is the last county with active trapping, because that is where the numbers are still high enough to make it worth the effort. A boar over a wallow, or a sow with young, is not something you want to meet on foot. Ask a farmer in Bedford what a field looks like the morning after a group of them moves through. The next animal does its damage without ever touching your land. Number 8. The bobcat. Ask 10 Pennsylvanians if there are wildcats in the woods, and most will say, no. The bobcat has quietly proven them wrong. Bobcats are expanding across much of their range, and Pennsylvania is part of it. More habitat, more prey, and careful management have pushed them back into counties that had not held them in living memory. You will almost never see one. It weighs 15 to 30 pounds and hunts at the edges of the day. The danger here runs to your barn cats, your poultry, the small dog left out at night. The next cat on this list is bigger, and a lot closer than the one you are picturing. Number 7. The eastern coyote. The coyote you have in Pennsylvania is a bigger animal than the scrawny desert dog from the cartoons, and there is a reason for that. The eastern coyote carries western coyote, wolf, and some dog in its blood. Males run 45 to 55 pounds, which puts a big one in the size class of a small shepherd. For the record, the Game Commission did not release these animals, whatever your neighbor swears. They came down out of the Catskills in the late 1960s, settled heaviest in the Poconos, and by 1990 they had filled every county in the state. They den close to houses, and they take pets. On a still night, a whole family group opens up at once, close enough that you count the porch steps back to your door. The next one is more dangerous because of what it may be carrying. Number 6. Rabid wildlife. This one covers any animal acting like it forgot to be afraid of you, whatever the species. And in Pennsylvania, the odds run through the raccoon. Raccoons are the most frequently reported rabid animal across much of the state. The raccoon strain took hold in the 1980s and has been in the wild population ever since. Since 1995, more than 350 animals a year have tested positive statewide. The carriers are the ones you already know. Raccoons, skunks, foxes, bats. A raccoon out at noon, staggering, unafraid, is not tame. It is sick. It reaches the big animals too. In January 2025, in Jim Thorpe, Carbon County, a black bear approached a man and bit and scratched him. The Game Commission tested it. The bear was rabid, which is the right place to talk about the bear itself. Number 5. The black bear. Everybody knows the bear is here. What people underestimate is how many and how comfortable they have gotten. The Game Commission estimates the state holds between 18,000 and 20,000 black bears. In the 2024 season, hunters reported 2,626 of them, taken across 56 of the state's 67 counties, with Tioga County leading. The heaviest concentration and the sharpest rise in conflicts is in the Northeast, in the Poconos. Bears there have learned that people mean food. Over one Labor Day weekend, a bear at a Pocono campsite clawed a man trying to shoo it away from the lake. A Pennsylvania black bear is not looking for a fight. But a bear that has stopped fearing people is a different animal than the one your grandfather hunted. Now, number 4. The one they keep insisting you did not see. Number 4. The cougar. You saw it on a ridge or crossing a back road, low and long, with a tail that hung near the ground. You reported it, and you were told, politely, that you were wrong. The eastern cougar is extinct. So let's be honest about what that paperwork says and what it does not. In January 2018, the United States Fish and Wildlife Service removed the eastern cougar from the endangered list because it had concluded the animal was extinct. The last true records go back to Maine in 1938. As a native breeding population, the cougar is gone. This channel will not pretend otherwise. But here is what does not make the local paper. A cougar can walk into the Northeast on its own 4 feet. We know this because one did. On June 11, 2011, a vehicle struck a mountain lion on the Wilbur Cross Parkway in Milford, Connecticut. A 140-pound male. Officials assumed a released pet until the DNA came back. That cat had walked from the Black Hills of South Dakota, its trail picked up along the way in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Roughly 1,500 miles, one of the longest land animal movements ever recorded. So when you say you saw one on a ridge in Pennsylvania, the honest answer is not that you are wrong. A native breeding population is gone, but a lone cougar wandering through is documented fact. You were not making it up. The next 2 have never left, and they put more Pennsylvanians in the hospital than every cat combined. Number 3, the copperhead. Now we reach the animals that actually send locals to the emergency room. Pennsylvania has exactly 3 venomous snakes, and this is the one you are most likely to be standing near without knowing it. The northern copperhead is the most widespread across the southern half of the state, anywhere except the northernmost counties. Its camouflage is the whole problem. Against fallen leaves it disappears, and it holds still while you close the distance. For the record, the state snakes fall under the Fish and Boat Commission, not the Game Commission. All 3 venomous species are listed as animals of greatest conservation need, which means the state protects them rather than exterminates them. A copperhead bite is rarely fatal to a healthy adult, but people who garden, stack wood, or reach into stone walls in the southern counties know to look first. The snake at number 2 carries more venom and a longer memory in these mountains. Number 2, the timber rattlesnake. If the copperhead is the one you step near, the timber rattler is the one the mountains are named for. It is the largest venomous snake in Pennsylvania, and it lives where you hike. They hold the ridges and rocky slopes across the mountainous parts of the state. They were a candidate for threatened or endangered status for years. Then a long study found the population holding better than feared, and they came off the list. The people who spend the most time in rattlesnake country are the ones who have watched these dens survive. A timber rattler will nearly always warn you before it strikes. It buzzes. It wants you gone as much as you want to be gone. Respect the sound, and you will likely never be bitten. Which brings us to number 1. The animal that hospitalizes more Pennsylvanians than everything else on this list combined, and the one almost nobody films. Number 1. The black-legged tick. Here is where the ranking stops being about what scares you and starts being about what actually gets you. The animal that hurts the most. Pennsylvanians is the size of a poppy seed. The black-legged tick, the deer tick, now lives in every one of Pennsylvania's 67 counties. And the number is not a rumor. In 2024, the state recorded 16,624 laboratory confirmed cases of Lyme disease. Pennsylvania leads the entire country in reported Lyme cases. The federal figures put close to 29% of the nation's cases inside this one state. And officials say the confirmed count is a fraction of the real one, because so many cases never get reported. You already know this in your body. You check behind the knees and the belt line after a day in the tall grass. You know the ring-shaped rash. You know the neighbor whose Lyme went missed for months. The bear and the rattler get the thumbnails. The tick gets the actual victims. That is the honest ranking. The animal that changes the most lives in these woods is the one too small to see coming. So the next time somebody tells you that you did not see what you saw, or that the thing you fear out here is not really a threat, remember the paperwork. The record keeps siding with the people who actually live in these woods. I want to know which part of Pennsylvania you are watching from. Drop your town in the comments and tell me which of these 11 you have run into on your own land. I read them.